that you let decay, abandoned in the cold. It's been so long since I felt alone. Welcome to the nightmare. You can't run.
What's
Hey,
up, gang?
Guys, happy
Yeah,
Friday.
man, it's another Friday in paradise. Let me tell you,
Let
we're on
me
a little
tell
early
you.
tonight.
Yeah.
Our engineer boogied out of work a little early tonight, so
And just
we'll have a longer night maybe because I
Yeah.
know some people are going to tune in later.
yes, we have a band coming in after us, so we have to be done on time. And
Yeah, the bloody stools. Who was it tonight? I
yeah,
can't-
bloody stools. And he did talk to me tonight, and we're going to stick with Friday night. We're going to stick with 9 a.m. and
9 p.m.
9 p.m. I mean 9 p.m. To 10:30. So until further notice, that's what we're going to be doing. So we'll be here
go.
Friday nights 9 to 10:30. So I just sent out a bunch of invites to let everybody know we were going live. So hopefully they got it and they're here if they're not doing anything.
Well, that's good. He pulled some strings, I guess. So he's going to bug you out a little early on Fridays.
Yep.
Not a
So
big deal. Is he salary anyway?
right. So yep, we're here. And is there a holiday tonight or anything? Is it Arbor Day or anything? I don't know. That's
don't know.
they're sad. Like
Not that I'm aware of.
my
It's
cal-
Friday. Friday.
my calendar blows up with the most
Thank God it's
ridiculous
Friday,
holidays.
Friday.
Yeah, it is Friday, and we have some rain. Thank God. It's been so dry. How dry is it? No, it's been really dry. So we went from
Drier than a Mormon wedding.
we went from nothing but torrential downpours and storms and everything else to no rain at all. So we're in need of rain. My grass doesn't even really need to
This
be
rain.
mowed.
Look at my hair. Look at my hair. It does rain.
I know.
Ah,
And I've had a day, so there's no makeup. This is no makeup Friday, no hair,
hopefully it's
Style,
not too much background noise.
all fat. Sorry,
we
but
got the air on tonight in here.
Yes.
Get the humidity out, so
hopefully you can hear us and you don't
Yeah,
hear the
hopefully.
air conditioning. But, you know, it's still warm outside, so
so we're just yak a little bit, get a couple more viewers there
yeah.
before we get into our book work.
Yes, I sent an invite. I posted it on my Facebook. Like I said, check my Facebook if you want to know what we're doing. So,
Oh, Stephanie's out there.
Yep.
Lovely Stephanie from
from
Las Vegas.
beautiful Las Vegas,
Yes.
with all the scorpions and the
You can
asses.
get a lobster tail sandwich for $5.
Yeah, a
Only
lot
in
of
Vegas.
a lot of asses out there. And they're wild asses. But no, we're here, and I just want to welcome anybody that is in the background that we don't normally see.
And speaking of Vegas, Steph, we had, if you don't mind saying Steph, I'll say Stephanie. Some people like their whole name, but we had some women on in our meeting this week from Gamanon,
Yes.
which is like for the families of gamblers. You know, instead of
Yes.
like Gamblers Anonymous, the Gamanon. They were talking about that. I think we're going to start learning more about gambling addiction out there. And the ironic thing was the similarities to a substance use disorder addiction. I mean, it was so funny, the wording and they were saying it all, and I had to make a point to bring it up. And people were like, yeah, this is funny. I said that because it's a disease of the brain.
Yep.
There are a lot of similarities to a gambling addiction as it is to a drug or alcohol addiction.
And I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at that.
She's laughing. Did you see
not
that?
laughing at that.
She berates me at every time, every moment.
Because Richard put gates or something on the mic so that we could have the air on and you don't get bothered by it. This thing is like rammed down my throat. So it's just really weird.
Uh-oh.
We have a caller. Let me
Oh, so soon. All right. You got
Okay.
the thing to answer the phone?
let me see. I'm getting there.
Hello, caller.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Oh,
How are
I got to
you?
turn you up. Hold on. There you go.
How are you?
Very good. And yourself?
Very well. I have 2 messages for you to pass on.
Okay.
Would you say happy belated birthday to Larry?
Okay. Happy belated birthday, Larry, from my mom in California.
And for Barb,
And
proud.
Yes.
Keep up the good work.
Yes. Mom is very proud of you there, Barb. I don't see her popping in yet, but I'll let her know if she does pop
She'll be
in.
Probably tune in a little later because of all the
Okay.
confusion.
Yeah, I sent her the link that we're here, so if she's
Good.
she might be able to pop in
She's
for
probably polishing her barista tools for tomorrow.
yeah, she's polishing
Ahead
her
of time, kills on
barista
time.
tools.
Her urn.
Her
Polishing
urn.
up the
She's
urn.
polishing the urn, yes. So,
Okay.
well, thank you, and I will pass that on. I don't see Larry popped in yet. I did send him a message, but because it is his birthday, I think I heard him say they were going out to dinner tonight. So, if he comes, he probably won't be coming till a little later. So,
Probably and Eric just popped in. Hello,
hey,
Eric.
Eric. And I will pass those on if I see either one. If not, I will text Larry a little later and let him know. And Barb.
Okay.
All righty.
Good show so far.
Well,
Talk to you later.
all
Well,
righty.
thank you for
Love ya.
tuning in.
Bye-bye.
And with that, guys, that's our call-in line. So if you are struggling and you do want to talk to us, you can always give us a call at 267-737-8031. You can also call that number, so write it down.
Please, no calls after 2 in the morning.
So if
Just kidding. You call
you
anytime you need to.
so if you want to jot that down, and after the show, if you're struggling at any time that we're not airing, you are free to give me a call, and and I'm here to help and to share my experiences and hopefully give you some strength to get through and find hopefulness. So yeah, so there's the phone number. And if you are on and you have the capability of adding in a comment, I think you have to be subscribed to comment. I don't know. I just still don't know how this stuff works. So that's what I use my son for. He tells me what to do and I do it. And so hopefully, if you have the capability and
He tells her what to do. She tells me where to go. I mean, it's as simple as that. We have a whole process here.
yes. So just pop in a little hello, a shout. If you are new here, this is a recovery chat, and this is recovery for everybody that has substance use disorder. Or you just want to learn about it because
Or any disorder. If you have a substance use disorder, if you have a gambling disorder, we now have connections.
Eating
to
disorders.
gambling problems. All right. Any disorder. If you have a sexual disorder, please come to me. I'll
yeah,
give you
he'll
guidance.
handle that. I'm out.
My hands are kind of full with Larry right now.
But
Trying to get him on track, but
yeah, but like I said, that's what this is about. This is for families that have somebody that is struggling. This is what we started the show for, families that are struggling with substance use disorder, those that are actively using, those that are in recovery, those that just want to learn and get educated on addiction, because you may have an inkling that something's going on, or you want to be preventive on looking for signs and making sure that you're there for a loved one.
And if any of our regulars have any experience with gambling, issues, please let us know so we can, reach out to you, for advice or to turn somebody your way to give them any advice you may have to offer. And we don't know, anybody really offhand.
Right. I don't.
In the gambling.
And the funny thing is,
All my friends are poor, and they're poor by their own. I mean, not from gambling, but
they're poor because of our economy.
they buy expensive toys and cars and
But
boats.
if you're new to the show, feel free to pop in and say hi. Even pop in and let us know where you're from so that we know where we're reaching. And if you're liking what you see, and share it out, because you never know who might need to see this. But we're going to be doing section 4 tonight of the Family and Friends Smart Recovery. We've covered the first 3 chapters so far, and we're going to work on chapter 4 tonight. They call it sections, so section 4. So feel free to ask any questions.
Popping up another person
Yeah.
here, so we got a couple more people on.
Feel
That's
free
awesome.
to ask questions. We'll share again. We will share our experiences,
Strengths and hopes.
and really just be here for whoever needs it. We have some of our seniors in the comments that are also willing to pop in and answer questions through the comments. So keep an eye on the comments and pop in your questions or call in. That we're here and we are listening. So just waiting for a couple minutes to get started.
And any of our regulars at our Wednesday night meeting, if you're tuned in tonight and you weren't at last Wednesday, we're going to have another meeting
this Wednesday.
next coming Wednesday. It's supposed to be an off night, but the room was open. It was offered to us if we wanted to have a family friends meeting Wednesday at Living Green, and we're going to have one this next coming Wednesday also, and then the Wednesday after that again.
Yeah, and this is what happened. We are supposed to have the first and third, or the second and fourth, I don't know. But because May had 5
been the
weeks
first and
in
third.
it,
Wednesday of every month, but because we had 5 months last week, it screwed up the whole rotation.
we had 5
5
weeks in last month. It kind of screwed up, because we always say we're here every other Wednesday, where in reality we're there on whatever. It should have been Dana's family education, but we were there because it was the first and third for Dana. We're the second and fourth. So yeah, there was a little tiny glitch in that. So not only did we get to have a meeting this past Wednesday, we get to have another one this coming Wednesday. So be there or be square. And then it'll go to Dana's, and then it'll go to ours. So
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
Come this Wednesday, we'll let you know what the next week is. It's just too much gibberish going on.
But yeah, so the nice thing about our family support group through the Living Room Family Support is we've been getting a lot of family members, and not just parents. We've been getting spouses. We've been getting partners, girlfriends and boyfriends and such. So, it's a really good group, and we're getting some that are just alcoholics, and then we are getting a mix of drugs and alcohol. So it's just been a really interesting meeting as of late, because it's
Our numbers are really picking up at the meetings.
Yes.
We're about not quite back at pre-pandemic numbers, but we're getting there. It's
We're
coming
getting
back.
there.
We
Yeah.
average, like 25, 30 people somewhere.
and it's getting bad out there. So and now you're going to see, this is where it spikes, where they're all leaving treatment and going back to the street, because it's not snowing, it's not cold, it's warm, the food is plentiful, the clothes are plentiful on the streets.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just sad when the weather changes, it gets nicer. The relapse rates go up.
Yeah, the beds are available all over the place. Although I did find an article the other day that Penn Presbyterian, which would take you in and give you a detox in 30 days, they are now only doing outpatient. So apparently, once the last 30-day person leaves, They're going to be doing outpatient. They do have another facility that will be doing detox and I think PHP, which is partial hospitalization program. So just when we need it the most, things are changing, and it's not changing for the better. So hopefully that changes back. I think Valley Forgers, one of them did that as well, but then they went back because there was such a need. So hopefully they will see that there is a need for that to stay in place and get those beds open and have that hospitalization, because it's really strange when you think about it. Right now with the xylazine going
just making things
and the
even
trank,
more unbearable. The methamphetamine is so strong. The meth has like made a big comeback.
yeah, but with the xylazine and the trank, what's happening is these open sores, which you're not being taken into a rehab until you're treated and you're released on a medical clearance. And an open sore is not going to get you into treatment.
Yeah, it prevents. Yeah, you
And it's
medical
so
clearance.
big right now. At least in Kensington, it's really big, and Camden.
It's big. It's Narcan resistant,
Yes.
and like we said, it creates these hideous sores and infections, and it's horrible. And if you don't know, the reason they added this xylazine, which is a large animal tranquilizer, is to extend the length of the fentanyl. Because fentanyl, as strong as it is, it has its half-life
short- yeah.
is short-lived. Where the high doesn't last as long. It's
Right.
powerful, doesn't last as long. So with the addition of the xylazine, it stretches it out the high a little longer. But let's face it, these guys aren't compounding pharmacists. That look like enough, yeah, a little more. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. So I mean, that's what we're up against. And now summer's coming, so you're sweating. The feet already are bad enough, but now you're dealing with all this infection and open sores.
Oh my
so
God, amputations. I mean, we're talking some serious shit. I mean, people are getting limbs amputated because of the infection. It's horrible. It's so sad.
and to be closing any type of bed right now is just ugh, the system sucks. It really does. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to get into our section 4 of the Smart Recovery, Family and Friends. And this is geared towards the family members to get them the help. However, everything in here is just as helpful with our loved ones. So they can use these tools to see where they're at and what they can do to move towards recovery. So, and for those that are in recovery, how they can manage to stay in the recovery process. If you are liking what you've been seeing, check, Google the Smart Recovery meetings, because you may be able to find some in your area. Unfortunately, we don't have any in our area. The only one we had is No More. So, I just wanted to go over this with you. So, section 4 is the ABCs of REBT, emotional self-management. And it's funny, the girl that I do the class with on Thursday nights, she always says ABCs of REBT.
And REBT being rational emotive behavior therapy.
Yes.
Hence
And
the acronym.
yes, and I'll forget it halfway through.
Yeah,
So.
I got it highlighted. I mean, it's like the military, recovery anywhere with all these acronyms. Everything got an acronym.
Right. They have acronyms for acronyms.
They
It's
do.
crazy. But last week, if you remember the ABCs, the action, what was it? I know I'll screw that up too, because me see.
Dead air. Dead,
Dead
air.
there.
Well, bring it up if you weren't ready to talk about it.
But it's just, well, we'll get into it. So, ABCs of RABT, emotional self-management. Do you sometimes experience extreme upsets? Are you often frustrated, angry, sleepless, or anxious? Do you ever feel helpless or hopeless? Emotional self-control is a valuable life skill to possess, and it is one that is often seriously challenged in a relationship with someone who has an addiction. This section focuses on how to regain emotional self-control using the strategies and the insights of rational emotive behavior therapy, REBT. Using REBT tools, you can work to examine the role that your thoughts and beliefs play in your ability to respond to your loved one and to other life events. You can learn to change your thoughts and beliefs in a way that can lead to improved emotional control. REBT is a proven system designed to improve emotional self-management. Better emotional self-management empowers us. It empowers us to change those things that we can change, including our thinking. And it empowers us to accept those things that we cannot change. So we did go over the ABCs last week. So some of this, you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute, didn't we just do this last week? But it's just kind of like a continuous overview of all of that as well. So hopefully, it stuck with you and it can help you even further. So what are the ABCs of REBT? Many people consider other people or events to be the source of their distress. Other people, events, my feelings, behaviors. According to REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, psychological distress is often experienced as a result of an individual's beliefs and perceptions. In other words, it is not people or events that directly cause us to feel and behave in certain ways. It is the way we think about those people and events. It is the personal meaning we give to an event that triggers emotions rather than the event itself. Consider a football game. What does a camera see? The Reds are playing against the Blue, and the score is tied. In the last seconds of the game, the Reds kick a field goal, the tie is broken, and the Reds win the game. Now, look at the fans on the Red side of the stadium. The fans are cheering and appear to be happy. On the Blue side, the fans are groaning and appear to be disappointed. One event happened, field goal, and yet we see two very different emotional responses. This illustrates that it's not events that cause emotional responses. It is example, there must be something else going on to cause the fans' feelings. Otherwise, they would all be responding to that tie-breaking kick the same way. But they don't. What could be the reason for the different emotional responses? It is the beliefs and thoughts about the situation, how the event is being interpreted by each individual that makes a difference in how they respond emotionally. You want to take the next part?
Why, certainly. Let's see, other people and events, my beliefs and thoughts, my feelings and behaviors. The ABCs of REBT help us to better manage our feelings, our emotions, and our behaviors by investigating our beliefs and the thoughts they generate. Unhealthy beliefs can be challenged and changed. A common situation for family and friends, F&F. Did they really have to put that in F&F?
F&F?
With a loved one, LO, who has an addiction, is that the LO's behaviors, lying, overspending, legal troubles, etc., can be challenging to those around them. F&F respond to these behaviors in many different ways. For example, it is not uncommon for an F&F who have grown very frustrated to feel extreme levels of anger and/or anxiety. These feelings and behaviors, they often lead to nagging, pleading, arguing, can become a problem of their own. And for the F&F, the F&F just
Friends and family.
Additionally, if the friends and family
Hey,
have a
Christine.
goal of being a positive influence for the loved one who has an addiction, the behaviors of nagging, pleading, and arguing have been found to be counterproductive. Using the ABCs of REBT can be an effective way of managing our own emotions and behaviors by changing our thoughts and beliefs. In doing so, we gain a calmer, more compassionate state of mind and are better able to change our responses to our loved ones' changing behaviors.
So, the ABC model, how thinking affects behavior. Oh, that's better, hides my belly. The ABC model. A, the activating event. B, our beliefs, perceptions about the event. C is our consequences, our feelings or behaviors. It is easy to be unaware of B, beliefs, perceptions, and think that A, activating event, simply leads automatically to C, consequences. Example, this situation makes me so angry. However, there is always a thought or a B, belief, that precedes a response. It is the thought or belief that leads to the C, consequences, not the A, activating event itself. Everybody following that?
I would just say the word and stop using a lot of.
Example, consider how person A and person B experience different reactions and consequences as a result of the same activating event. Person A, getting stuck in a traffic jam on the way home or going out to dinner. That would be the activating event. B, this is terrible. I can't stand traffic jams. I'm going to be late, and that's unforgivable. That's our belief of that situation or perception of that situation. Become stressed, arrive in a bad mood, end up having an argument. That is our consequence for that action. Now, person B, getting stuck in a traffic jam on the way home or going out to dinner. Same event. The traffic is out of control. There's no point getting stressed. I'm just going to listen to some relaxing music and chill out. If I'm late, it's not the end of the world. That is this person's belief or perception. What would that be? An optimist? Arrive home in a relaxed state, calmly apologize for being late. There's the consequence. It's just a calmer, more reasonable consequence. Being aware of your thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions can help you to challenge them, thereby allowing you to reduce your physical distress and change your habitual ways of responding to challenging situations. And that is, we all do it. We're all guilty of, always going to the dark side instead of looking forward and playing out that tape to say, I could have handled that differently and had a much better response or end of the day. So, considering the following two scenarios of the ABC tool. Scenario 1. Daughter comes home late and obviously intoxicated. That's the activating event. She obviously doesn't care about me, or she wouldn't have this way, or she wouldn't behave this way. That is the belief or perceptions. You feel very distressed and angry. You go on the attack, accusing her of being selfish, disrespectful, messing up her life, etc. You end up having an argument, the whole household is disturbed, tensions escalate, and everyone feels stressed. That's the consequence of that negative behavior and looking at it in the dark way. Scenario 2. Daughter comes home late and obviously intoxicating. Of course, that's the activating event. Questionable. The beliefs and perceptions. You calmly say to daughter, I don't like spending time with you when you've been using. I'm happy to talk to you tomorrow when you are straight. I'm going to bed now. Then you go to bed, read, practice a relaxation technique, tensions de-escalate, and the household feels calmer. That's the consequence, and doing a positive response. In scenario 2 above, what beliefs, perceptions blah, might lead to less stressful consequences? Or how could you change the beliefs, perceptions from scenario 1 to lead to the consequences in scenario 2? So, nobody can hurt me without my permission. That's from Mahatma Gandhi.
La Mahatma.
But
Little Seinfeld.
yeah, but that's, you know, and that's what this teaches you, how to, you know, stop and think, because, again, nagging, bitching, moaning, it's not going to cause anything but the chaos that our loved ones look for to keep us, everybody on edge and everybody after each other, and then they're just sitting back like, I'm going to get high, I'm going to go to bed, and they're still going to be fighting about it. So, you know, that's why we have to really think about the better way of reacting when our loved ones are, you know, active.
Remember the Mahatma.
So, some common irrational beliefs. With the ABC model, as we explore our beliefs about a situation, it says BS, about a situation, it is helpful to classify them as rational beliefs, RBS. Not IBS. Oh, there is an IBS. RBS, or irrational
Or
beliefs.
irritated bowel syndrome. Oh, sorry. Irrational beliefs syndrome.
IBS, RBS are reality-based, realistic, and helpful. IBS are not reality-based, do not match the reality of what is actually there. I hope people are following this, because
that's a hard one to
my
follow.
head's like all over the place. And are not helpful. Below are some examples of some common IBS.
I'll take it.
Take some.
Things should be the same way. I think they should be. If they aren't, it's terrible. Dude, if I make a mistake, I'm a failure. Common belief. Everyone should think well of me at all times. As a parent, I am 100% responsible for the way my children turn out. So many people worry about that, and sometimes that's way out of our control, no matter how hard you try. That's very unfair to yourself. I must never feel sad or unhappy. Well, of course we all feel sad or unhappy at times. It's a part of human nature. Everyone will judge me negatively if they know that my son or daughter, partner, parent has a problem with drugs or alcohol. Man, there is one right there that hits the nail on the head. So many people are so worried about what other people are going to think of them. And I mean, it stops them from going for help for their loved ones. I mean, they shun themselves from other people to avoid conflict.
It causes complete isolation, and it doesn't have to be that way.
And sadly, a lot of people do judge us because they're not familiar with addiction or the things that go along with it. And don't take it out on them. They don't know it because they never had a reason to learn it.
Right.
Remember, most people's thoughts on addiction are more opinion based than fact based. Okay, they're usually very flawed. So
And that's another thing with this program. You can be somebody that has nobody that you know of that is struggling with addiction, but learn that there is help out there and you don't have to feel judged.
yeah. And the next one is I've given my son, daughter, or partner everything. Now he owes it to me to be a good person. Ooh, right. You know, that's not a good path to go down. I mean, if my loved one really loved or respected me, she wouldn't use drugs. I'm sure a lot of people think that way, but they can't help themselves. Using drugs means someone is a bad person. Oh my goodness, nothing could be
So
farther
wrong.
from the truth. But children should respect their parents. I do believe that.
I'm sorry, but
I do believe that
you know,
for so many reasons. But if I don't keep pointing out how bad for him his drug use is, he'll never stop. Well, you don't have to point it out. They know how bad it is. But, you know, on the same token, you're not condoning it.
right.
But they don't need to constantly point it out to them. They know. Trust me, they know. They just can't help themselves. If I leave my loved ones or ask my loved one to leave, she will fall apart. Well,
Yep. Have-
we think that sometimes, but they're a lot stronger than we think. And
And
for
that-
our enabling,
and one of our first steps to getting better is to fall apart, and that's first you use everything falls apart, then you go for help and everything comes back
and
together.
that fall apart doesn't never necessarily mean physically.
Right.
I mean, it's a time for, to self-evaluate, things, and it's the first part of making a change, with nothing changes. And we're so afraid of that, where there, if we change up this whole routine, something bad's going to happen. The worst, the bottom's going to fall. They're going to fall apart. I mean, we have to take the first step sometimes to make change. If
I can make
I can make someone else change their behavior. Ooh.
absolutely not.
No.
You can control
And-
one person, and that is yourself.
And that so many people try to control their loved one, to help them conquer this addiction. It just doesn't work like that. People don't want to be controlled. I mean, we can guide them, or we can tell them when they're doing really well, or this, that, but we can't control one's behavior. We're lucky we can control our own behavior. Drug users are helpless victims who have no control over their behavior. No, not necessarily so. But if we give them the right scenario, they're not going to control their behavior, because if we're enabling them to the end that they can continue this lifestyle, it's, you know what I mean? It is, but they're not helpless.
Right.
In no way. I mean, but so many people think that, oh my gosh, I got to take care of every issue for them. I got to take care of all their legal problems. I got to call them out from work, because if I don't, well, they're losing their job, and blah, 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 blah. They're not helpless by no means.
So the next part is challenging unhelpful thinking. People are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. Epictetus. The first step in challenging...
Would that be Epictetus?
Epictetus.
There's some good names in here. I'm always tough with them Greek names.
The first step in challenging unhelpful thoughts is simply to become aware of them. Note that we are not referring to positive thinking where a negative thought or belief is replaced by an opposite positive thought or belief. Rather, it is about learning to recognize and identify unhelpful thoughts and then challenging them in order to create more helpful thoughts. The steps involved are: become aware of your thoughts, beliefs, perceptions. Catch them. Evaluate them. Are they helpful or unhelpful? Rational or irrational? If you judge them to be unhelpful or irrational, name them to yourself as such. Challenge or dispute unhelpful beliefs, which more helpful or rational thoughts, with more helpful or rational thoughts. Note, these are some questions that can help to evaluate an irrational belief. Where is holding this belief getting me? Is it helpful, or is it self-defeating? Where is the evidence to support my belief? Is it consistent with reality? Is my belief rigid or flexible? What helpful belief can I use to replace this unhelpful belief? When you take responsibility for your own thoughts, feelings, and actions, you make it almost impossible for others to manipulate you or make you feel bad. By Jonathan von Bretton. So, I hope you guys are still hanging in there with us, because these ABCs and REBTs
Yeah,
can
this
be
chapter got
like blah, 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 blah. It's
this
like a
chapter
ping
a
pong in your head. So, identifying and challenging beliefs. Can you identify? This is an exercise that's in the book. So,
And hello, Christine.
yes, hello, Christine. I did whisper it kind of earlier. Can you identify an unhelpful belief you hold in relation to your loved one's drug and or alcohol use? By using the steps outlined on the previous page, can you challenge this belief and replace it with a more helpful belief? What is that new belief? What changes in your behavior might you notice as a result of this new belief? And here is the quote. This process may involve challenging some very old, deeply held habitual beliefs about how you, other people, and the world should be. As these beliefs are so habitual, it may take some time just to recognize them, and it takes even more time to challenge them and replace them with new beliefs that work better for you. In the long run, all this effort is well worth it. By Jonathan von Bretton. So here's some additional resources, and I'm going to put them on my page. I hope I remember. I'm going to try. Jeremy, yes, this is the Smart Recovery. This is Family and Friends Smart Recovery. This is a program that I was certified in at the beginning of the year, and I'm bringing the 14 sections to this channel, and hopefully, helping people to understand that changing the conversation can be helpful to getting our loved ones where they need to be, but also showing the family members and their friends that they can also be helpful for our loved ones in finding this. So anybody that is liking what they're seeing these last 4 weeks of this program, and this is not my program, we're just taking,
And we take segments from a lot of different programs on this show. I mean, Lori likes Beyond Addiction.
Beyond Addiction,
We bring a lot out of that.
which is craft.
And The Balm, Don't Be a Loving Mirror. So it's not necessary. This isn't a smart recovery course by any means, but this workbook, we find it to be very beneficial, and people really enjoy the information that it offers. And we kind of dabble in it in a couple of our different meetings. We bring it up, and people really seem to relate to it and seem to enjoy it.
Yes.
I mean, tell us what you think. I mean, if not, we could change it up and go to something else.
Right.
I mean,
Well, we're going to do 14 14 of the chapters in here. So if you want to stick with us for 14, please do. And
When
then
we, don't,
the
when we don't have a speaker, we change around.
Right.
I think next week we may have a speaker.
Right. So if anybody is interested in this book, you can go to smartrecovery.org. They have family and friends, or they have Smart Recovery, and that is for somebody that is in recovery or looking towards finding recovery. So it doesn't matter. And the nice thing about Smart Recovery is if you go to meetings, unfortunately we do not have any in our area, but not only will somebody in having an issue with substance use join a group, but you may have somebody from Gamblers Anonymous come in. You may even pop in and have somebody that is having, a shopping addiction. This program, as well as craft, can work in so many different scenarios in your life.
In your everyday life.
Right.
I mean, we find out a lot. It really helps you dealing with people in public. People are in different positions. You're your own boss and such at work.
Exactly.
It gives you tips on how to talk to people in a different way that's less confrontational and more positive. And it can really work to your advantage because people are always ready to be on the defensive.
Exactly.
And if you don't give them that angle to be able to be on the defensive, you kind of diffuse them. You know what I mean? Especially if they're already, irritated or that type of mind. I mean, you could really just change the whole scenario of the conversation. I mean, whereas, that's the way it is a lot of times with our loved ones when they're, in the grasp of their addiction, they tend to be more confrontational, more edgy, and, they want to keep the chaos in the situation.
Exactly.
And by doing something like this, you don't give them the opportunity to be like that. And it brings the anger down, it brings the whole the whole conversation more positive.
And Jeremy, we were doing the show via Facebook Live for quite a long time, but I kept getting put in Facebook jail. So we switched over to YouTube, but I still run my page over at Living Hopeful on Facebook. So if you are part of Facebook, you can follow us there as well. I do share a lot of information there. Because when we're not on the show, I have no idea if I can even do things when we're not on the show through
And
YouTube.
Facebook don't like our music. We're in a music studio. We play our own produced, performed, mixed, and mastered music, but yet they threaten us with copyright infringement.
Right.
Which this studio owns all the rights to all the music we play.
Right, but that's
But they're
why
like
we're
robots over
here.
there.
That's
You
why
can't
we're
talk to
here on
Facebook.
YouTube, because they don't allow us to do some things on Facebook. So
And my wife makes cracks about Punxsutawney Phil, the
yes,
groundhog who says 6 more weeks of winter, and my wife said somebody should off that groundhog. And Facebook
In
didn't
jail
like
I
that.
went.
It was inciting violence.
But-
that stupid groundhog.
but
just a joke.
nonetheless, but we're here now, and we're here every Friday night from 9 to 10:30.
We've been out. I mean,
This is show
like
116.
116th, our
Yeah.
16th episode.
Yeah, so
We've been out over 2 years, I guess.
we're here every Friday, Jeremy. If you want to check us out, and please, if you do like what you're seeing and hearing, please like and share, because you never know who might want to hear
And
this.
our audience is quite vast, Jeremy. It's not just parents. In fact, we have a lot of people in recovery, a lot of people fresh in recovery. We got a lot of people in long-term recovery that
Yeah.
all tune into the show every week.
Yeah, we
It's
have a
very
lot
friendly bunch.
We have a lot of old heads too. Eric, Larry,
Larry.
Eric,
But
Larry.
we got a lot of people here that if you're struggling such that would definitely they offer you their number. They'll be glad to yak with you. I mean, they've been through it, they've been there, they've done it. It's just a very friendly
Yes.
show. It really is. We
But-
do a lot of crosstalk.
Yes.
We try to give out as much information
And keep
and
it
hope.
light. Yep. So if you guys heard anything in here that you want to ask questions about, or please pop into the comments if you are capable of doing that, or give us a call in at 267-737-8031.
Put you on live.
But I want to be able to bring as much education as I can to the families, to those that are struggling and wondering how they're going to go forward to find recovery. And that's why I'm doing this.
And one works hand in hand with the other. A lot of people in recovery don't realize what their families are going through. They think, I'm just hurting myself, nobody else.
Right.
And then we help families understand what the person suffering the disorder is going through. I mean, people don't really understand what's going on in the minds of someone trapped in their addiction. I mean, they just assume they do, they think, but like I said earlier, it's usually more opinion-based than fact-based. I mean, and that's why education is the key, both ways, to really get a hold of this whole addiction situation. I mean, education, that's what's going to get us through this.
So if this is your first time joining us, Jeremy, welcome. Like I said, we have our old heads, Eric, and Larry's not with us tonight. I believe he's out to his birthday
I
dinner.
think he's reading to the blind nuns tonight, I think.
So,
But, Jeremy, it's glad to have you aboard. How did you find us? I'm curious.
yes. And what area are you in? We always like to know.
Pappy, this is my lovely wife, Lori.
Yes, and and when the show does end, I'm always available at 267-737-8031. If you know of any.
And if you forget that number, you can always rewind on the show. I mean, all our show, we save all our shows.
Yeah,
You
all
can
of
get
our
the number up there.
all of our shows are actually on YouTube, so feel free to check some of them out. But anyway, how is everybody doing? Is there anybody out there that is struggling that need to hear some suggestions? Maybe here's from our
There we go. Cool. Found us randomly. Let's say
Awesome.
You came to the right place.
awesome.
And if you have anything that you could offer to the people on the show, feel free to put it up there or call in. I mean, something you might be able to give somebody some insight into something. I mean,
Yeah, keep coming back because, like I've always said, I used to follow a page that did the same thing, and we grew such a family in the comments from all over the United States. We had them in Australia, Canada. There's so many places that
Shrimp on the bobby.
yes, that we all became like this family. It's weird, but yes, they are my virtual family and friends. Like
They're
Eric.
our friend. I hate when people say, we're a family. You hear that on everything.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
I mean-
where I work, we're like a family.
Yep, Eric.
We're all friends, and we all become very good friends, and we share,
Yep.
our experiences. And our
Eric
lives.
is one of my pals from the other show, and that's what I'm doing. I just want to be able to help people know that there is help, but that there is support. We won't judge you. We do not discuss religion. We don't discuss politics. That just pisses people off. So that's why I'm here.
Yep.
Awesome.
We got people out in Vegas. We got people out in California. We got people everywhere. I mean, that's
Yep. Keep coming back. It works if you work it.
system use disorder it's worldwide, let alone
Yep.
across the United States. I mean, we do get an occasional person from out of the country to hit us up on a number
I do.
on the other thing. It's great.
The one thing, the one place I thought, like, don't they not have phones or whatever out there? I was like,
Where the heck's that?
Guam or something.
Guam.
I
They got military bases in Guam. They got phones.
Yeah, it was just weird. I'm like, really? I'm
Jeremy's
reaching
out
there.
of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Awesome, buddy.
And that's what I say. I just want Louisiana. Yes, I have quite a few friends in Louisiana where I worked. Their shops were the ones that I would have to call and check on
She
progress
worked in the
of work.
insurance industry, dealing with body shops and stuff.
Yep.
Also. She got
So I have a lot of
over the
friends
place.
in Louisiana, and I love them. I want to go to Louisiana because that food looks some awesome food. They do some awesome eating down
They
there.
do have good food out that
They
way.
do.
Good tasting food, no doubt.
There's nothing like going out on the picnic table, throwing down a big old sheet of paper and throwing your food on it and eating it. Grab away.
What's
Up,
that? Is
you're a
that-
cook. Good for you.
Man, there we go. Hey, we got somebody. We
Yep.
got somebody.
So now we know where to go.
Now we know who to ask, man.
Although I'm not big into the crawfish because they're just too damn little.
If they were like the size of
Oh,
lobsters.
he's Cajun. There you go.
Put a whole bowl of lobsters like that.
Yeah, put a whole bowl of lobsters and shrimp and crab. I'm in.
And I love Cajun sauce. I love
Yep.
spicy food. I love seafood.
Yeah. And again,
I like all food, except maybe healthy food. I'm not
you
real
don't
big
like
on-
lamb. He does
You're
not
right.
like
I'm not a
lamb.
big lamb
He will
fan.
not eat lamb. But rice and gravy. I'm a mashed potato kind of girl, but yeah, I'll
Rice
do
and gravy
rice
works
too.
for me.
But no, that's what we're here for. We're just here to, make it light and help anybody. So if anybody needs to pop something in the comments, please do. So what's in the news? Ba-da-da.
Well, they just made xylazine like a Schedule II drug. They're really
Yep.
keeping track of it more. It's still available for veterinarian use and all, but they're really keeping a close look at it now. I mean, it was so overlooked and people would overorder and so much of it, and nobody was keeping track. For those tuning in, that would be called Trank. That's what they're adulterating our heroin now with. That really isn't even heroin. It's fentanyl with maybe a
Right.
smidge of heroin now if you're lucky. But yeah, that's in the news.
Right, and I do want to give a shout out. Never Surrender Hope. They want us to save the date. Come join us to honor those we have lost and bring awareness. It's a beautiful event, and we would love to have you all join us this year. Keep your eyes open for further info for this year's event. Anybody out there that is struggling, that has somebody in active addiction, in recovery, or have lost someone, Never Surrender Hope is an awesome page to follow. They do have the Never Surrender Hope Overdose Awareness Walk, and they do a beautiful job at remembering our loved ones. So, follow their page and check them out. Saturday, August 26th, they have face painting. They have all kinds of things, snacks, food. They sell their shirts and what have you. Great organization. I highly recommend following them on the page. They are out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So they're only a hop, skip, and a jump away from me. So check them out. They're really awesome. And
I want to give a shout out to my friends at Angels in Motion, another organization we were heavily involved with for years.
Yep.
They just got privy to part of a huge grant that they split with like 27 other organizations. They got $2 million they're all splitting.
right.
And they do a lot of outreach in the Kensington section of Philadelphia.
Yep.
That's what I did for years. I mean, before we changed gears and started helping families and all. But yeah, shout out to Angels in Motion. Congratulations, guys. I mean, a great organization.
Yep. And another shout out to ProAct, who is a recovery community center. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do for their walk this year. September is Overdose Awareness Month, and they used to have a huge walk in Penn's Landing, but because brotherly love isn't so lovely lately, I think they're changing it up again. Since COVID, they were doing the walks in your own area, your own neighborhood, and virtually posting it to their page. I'm hoping to see it all come together. Now, there's several different PROAC buildings in several different areas. So, from my understanding, at the end of last year, instead of doing the big major walk in Penn's Landing, where over 30,000 people came together to support one another, to, just remember loved ones that didn't make it, or to, be there to show people what recovery looks like. It looks like they're going to be choosing certain areas for each individual location to do their walk, and then virtually putting something together. So I'm kind of disappointed, but welcome to 2023. After COVID, the world got nuts. So I'll keep you posted on that. I'm sure they're going to start, posting things about that. And there he is. Hello from the Phillies.
Oh, thank goodness. Larry has just joined in. Hello,
Remember that
Larry.
old head I was telling you about?
Oh,
That's
he's
Larry.
at the Phillies game. He's at the Phillies game. Breathing in all that
Yes.
Canadian smoke.
Yes. But yeah, so I mean these are some of the events coming up, and I just want to put it out there. If you have any resources that you can share in the comments about your area and free Narcan, it is so important that we get that in everybody's hand, because it's getting so bad out there. It's summer. They're not fighting for beds right now. They're toasty warm, and like I said, they got all the food they need. They got all the clothes they need. They got their showers. They got their weight back, and they're bolting from these beds now. And just have Narcan on hand. It's so important today, because you never know who's going to need it. And
Really, if it's not for your loved one or somebody, I mean, you never know where you're going to be at a restaurant, in a bathroom, and find somebody dipped out, or anywhere.
yes.
Or I mean, I've had a guy I seen on I-95 in the lanes. Traffic stopped dead. I'm a commercial truck driver, and I look over. He's leaning over the wheel. I'm like, holy smoke! I throw my truck and park with the flashes on. I'm like, I don't want to startle the guy, so I had to reach in and put it in park before I woke him up, because if I startle him, he'd smash into somebody, I think. But he didn't need to be Narcan. He didn't want to stop either. Once he woke up, he's like, oh yeah, thanks, see ya.
Yes.
I mean, he must have been sitting there for like over a minute. People were going around him and this, that. He was out cold.
And again, Bristol Borough in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Bristol Borough is the Sunday stroll. They'll have food trucks. PROAC, Living Hopeful. Not Living Hopeful. That's me. Duh. Angels in Motion. Don't mind me. I'm tired.
Our good friend Helen Marie will
Angels
be there.
in Motion, they will be out there. They offer free Narcan out there. So there's a good day with the family. Just walking Mill Street, that whole area, the Bristol Borough is just so beautiful. So if you can get out there and join that and get your free Narcan. Let's see, what else? Dun. Happy birthday to Larry. Larry just had a birthday. Eric just had a birthday too, I
Really?
think.
Oh,
I
my
believe
goodness.
so. Oh, and so did our producer.
We got to wear a hat. Yes, our producer was
yes.
6. He just had a birthday.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's birthday galores out there.
No, and I have a birthday coming up in July.
Yeah.
In lieu of sending money, Omaha steaks are nice. And that's all I want to say.
And don't forget mine in February. I love Taco Bell, so.
Taco Bell.
But okay, I'm getting.
There'll be a lot of events coming up this summer. I mean, for those struggling out there, there's a lot of sober events that go on you might not even be aware of out there. A lot of clubs have their barbecues and this and that. I mean, I get the privilege to go to a lot of them. You know, being a DJ, I've DJ'd a lot of them. That's how I get to know them. But I mean, they're good times. I mean, you get to meet new people. You know, you get new friends that keep you strong. I mean, you know, keep your ear open for them sober events. They're a lot of fun. I mean,
Right.
like I said, you know, we throw like 4 sober dances a year for an organization that we volunteer with.
Yeah.
And,
Marie, happy birthday to you as well.
Cool. You know, we get over 200 people at our dances. They're, you know, we have a hall, a catered event, real nice. Mm-hmm. You know, I do all the music, and we got great food, and people just have a blast. I mean,
Yes.
they have more fun than a regular like wedding with alcohol in it. You know, there's
Yeah.
no alcohol, but a lot of food, a lot of cake, a lot of coffee, a lot of coffee.
Yeah. And I just want to bring that up. July 29th, 7 p.m., Georgine's in Bristol, Pennsylvania. Jeremy, come on up. It's awesome. It's $40 a person.
Yeah, come on all the way up from Louisiana.
Louisiana, not that far. But it's going to be the luau theme. And it's going to be held again by the Harvest Moon Committee. And we're just wanting to get together and have a great time and show, especially those that are in early recovery, what a great time we can have without any substance in our bodies. And oh my God, do we have a good time? We have a blast. And so many people come out and just enjoy themselves. And
It's like the recovery
Creole.
community is such a close-knit community.
it
And
is.
you don't realize how many people out there are in recovery.
Right.
I mean, it's insane. I mean, 'cause, you don't just come out, hey, I'm in recovery. Can I be your friend? You know, like, you got to be in the right circles. You meet them, and
Exactly.
it's huge.
Exactly.
And it's funny. It's like, well, I mean, I meet them all the time. I mean, one day I set up to DJ this big motorcycle event in one of the state parks that's close by. And I'm there early, and I'm dragging my gear out. I'm getting set up, and the woman starts talking to me. She says, well, what's going on? I said, oh, you know, well, I told her it's a motorcycle event, you know. I go, oh, well, we have a ride to recovery going on here today. We're going to have a couple hundred motorcycles. And she goes, oh, that's great. She goes, I'm in recovery, too. And there's like this old woman. I was expecting her to, like, complain to me, right? She says, oh, that's great. I'm in recovery myself, 36 years. I said, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, we're surrounded by them everywhere.
Yeah, and it is funny when you just bring up something, mostly because I'm always in some sort of organization's shirt or you know, something to do with recovery. You know, it's so funny because they're like, hey, how many years do you have? And I'm like, 8 years. But I'm the family member, and you know, my loved one is over 7.5 years living in recovery, and his partner is I call her my daughter-in-law, is over 6 years now in recovery. We have 2 beautiful grandchildren, and it's awesome. It's, you know, it is very awesome.
I mean,
and
recovery works if you work it. I mean, and these are all like the gifts you get through, you know, living a life of sobriety. I mean, everything comes back to you.
and it looks like there is an event at the Hilton in Kenner, Louisiana all weekend. Bingo, dancing, speakers, all sorts of stuff.
My wife loves bingo.
I love bingo. I'm having a lot of fun with bingo. And it's not for just old people, even though I'm getting older, but I have fun. It's girls' night out. It's fun. I enjoy hanging out with my girls. But this sounds like a really good time. So if you're listening to us and you are near Kenner, Louisiana, all weekend, bingo, dancing, speakers, all sorts of stuff. So that's cool. Thanks for sharing that. And if anybody has anything that is coming up in their area, please post it in the chat if you have chat available. If not, you can
Yeah, really,
text
man.
it to 267-737-8031.
Something you want to promote out there, always feel free to hit us up.
And I will post
Promote
it
it.
as well. So Jeremy says that's a great way to find out your friends are high. I'm Jeremy. I'm in recovery. Want to come to a meeting with me? Yep. It is like it's a great it's a great way to just be connected, because connection, when they say it's a we program, they really mean it's a we program. And it's the we that keeps everybody strong and keeps everybody, connected. So, yeah.
We stay connected, and let's face it keeps us all accountable.
Yes.
You know what I mean? 'Cause you don't want to let your friends down, and your friends are going to say something to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Your acquaintances, your other friends, they're not going to say, they're just going to, I don't want to get involved, I don't want to get them angry. But your recovery friends, they're going to call you on shit, and they're going to be straight up with you.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to blow smoke up your ass. I mean, give you colon cancer. You know what I mean? They're gonna say it like it is. Like, yeah, all right, you struggling. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's great to have a good
A good
community
connection.
around you. You know, your
a good connection.
Like I said, ain't nobody more humble and friendly than the recovery community. Man, it's incredible.
Exactly. And if you have an organization out there, that is
if we're like living because hey, we're gonna work on a garden this weekend. Hey, anybody want to volunteer? We're gonna put some plants and all. Boom, we got 30 people show up. You know, and
Right.
it's great. Like I know 30 of my friends would show up for anything. My
No.
normie friends,
Especially
outside.
fixing
oh
up
yeah,
the
no, I
garden.
can't make it. I
Yeah.
get a car wash that day. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like,
So it's awesome. So, get out there and enjoy, have fun.
yeah, man, recovery can be fun. I mean, that's why we keep it light on here. I joke around. I joke at all our meetings. Everybody will attest to that. Because recovery doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. I mean,
Right.
it's not. I mean, people do get well. People do recover. I mean, and you don't have to just sit there all humble and stone-faced serious. I mean, it doesn't have to be like that.
Right. We have a listener says, I'm using the Smart Recovery worksheets to change the way I talk to others, not only to see issues from a different viewpoint. And that's what this is. This is what this is about. And just finding different pathways and different ways to talk to one another. It's just so helpful. And you just have a different perspective and a different vibe coming off of you when you start learning those tools and you start putting them into practice.
It's like, when you go to like these sales leadership programs, and they try to, it's the same thing. They teach you how to talk to people differently and all, more positivity. It's a lot like that. The smart recovery and all. I mean, it's amazing.
Yes.
So you can use it in all aspects of your life,
Right.
not just the recovery part.
Right. And this goes hand in hand with craft, which is Beyond Addiction. Same, perspective.
Right.
It's just
A lot of them are all kind of
changing.
related.
Right.
The language has changed a little bit.
The craft is more scientist based. So, I highly recommend, checking out smartrecovery.org.
And I'll tell you that the scientifically based stuff really resonates with some family members better than others. Like me, I'm fascinated by the clinical end of addiction, why addiction does this, that, and what manifests itself in the other one with dopamine and serotonin level. Because that helped me really understand and get a grip around why things were going down the paths that they were. I mean, a lot of us need tangible evidence to really to embrace and believe in a system of recovery or whatever platform you're looking at. I mean, you could tell me, oh, you're blue in the face, but if I can't really see it and understand it, I'm going to have a hard time wrapping my head around it, And once I did that, I really started to immerse myself in it. I find it fascinating. I really do. And, that's why I always recommend, education is the way to
Right.
get through this and get over this hurdle.
Now, Christine says, I heard something at a meeting tonight. My disease checks in with me every day to see if I want to check out. So true, and makes meetings so important. Thanks for sharing that, Christine.
That's great. Isn't that the truth? Because it's a lifelong commitment, sobriety is. It really is. You always got to keep that disease in check. You can't fall prey to it,
And one of my listeners here says, celebrate recovery Monday nights at 6:30 p.m. 101 Mark Street in Des Alamandez, Louisiana. So check that
Oh,
out.
I got to plan a vacation around this. We'll go out and get something to eat. We'll check out some really good meetings. We'll
You're
meet.
not going to see that because we're chatting.
Oh, I can hear you.
So that's
I can think that.
but that's in Louisiana, so I
Yeah.
might have to check that out.
But
Now,
Christine, you know what? It's kind of like a diabetic. You control your disease. You take your insulin. You control it. You live a very fruitful, long life. But you have to keep taking that insulin.
right.
You know what I mean? It's a disease that's never cured, but it's kept in remission.
Right.
Through meetings and abstinence. And you can live a perfectly beautiful life. Like I said,
Right. And
I got to use that
And
diabetes angle. I gotta
Yeah.
write that down.
and Eric shares every meeting has a lesson, and that's so true. You may not hear something from one person, but another person may resonate really strong with you, and that's what it's about. Like finding that person and finding that one thing that's being shared that helps you get the next day. So important. Now, Celebrate Recovery. I've heard of it. I'm not really sure what it is. I believe it's more religious based. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that is Celebrate Recovery is more religious based. And our man Larry, he's
It's
not.
not the one to ask.
Our man Larry.
Larry is a non-secular type meeting guy.
Right. And
Great guy.
And yes, Celebrate Recovery is a religious-based program, my listener says. And Larry does the non-secular, which takes God out of it. And,
He has a higher being, a higher power
Right.
of some type. But
they keep anything.
because that's funny. I kind of had a little conversation the other night at the meeting, about God-based things. The guy asked me if I'm religious and all at the meeting. You know what I'm talking about. I said I am, but I don't push that to anyone because a lot of people get turned off by the God thing, and it's not my job to reform them or in God. If they want to believe, it's great. I believe in God, but I don't make that my primary focus because
Right.
they so that people like they don't hear anything more you're saying after that part. When the God part comes in, people are very opinionated about it and all. And it's for a lot of different reasons. Some people that were religious, they think God let them down. That's why they came down this road, and their lives in shambles. So for whatever reason, I don't really push the God thing. Like I said, I'm a godly person myself, but it's not my duty to have to try to change around. This guy didn't know how to take me on that, but he understood my point when I told him that I am religious. He was feeling me out, and I dealt with that. But that's all I got to say about that.
And just for the record, we are.
I used my tools with that guy to actually control the conversation,
Right.
and it worked like a charm because he was like, he's ready to do battle with me. The whole thing, he was stifled,
Yes.
like
So
Edith Bunker.
we're winding down because we do have a band coming in after the show. But our listener says the study habits hurts and hang-ups, not just AA. That's Celebrate Recovery. It's a God of your understanding, each person's, not just one God. Exactly. And that really is what everything is based on, just like the Bible. That's why we have so many different religions, same book but different interpretations.
Interpretation. Everybody
And-
interprets recovery differently. As you know.
Exactly.
Oh my God!
And-
I go on somebody's pages. I say, is there a friggin' moderator on this
And
page?
again, we have to remember that there's different paths to recovery. Not everybody is an abstinent-based recovery. And, I don't hold judgment on anybody's path. If
No,
you...
and we don't. I mean, especially we're involved with so many organizations. But whatever works best for you. We don't push one over the other. We can't.
We can't, and I'm not going to,
Right.
because if you're doing, whatever you need to do to not do the drugs that are going to kill you.
But if
And
you were to
keep
ask
you
me in
alive.
private with a hidden tape recorder,
But that's that's what
plug in
this show
recent
is.
events.
That's what this show is based on. I want to help whoever it is that I can help get to where they want to be. And that's the most important part of this entire thing.
when we get you on, try to get you on track and let you make your decision on how you want to follow this path.
And I just want to point out, like, if we have new listeners out there, we do not take, accept, or hold
Solicit anything.
any monetary
No,
anything.
we're not a monetized YouTube account, so
We
know,
are just here
we're just strictly here to help people.
share our experience.
I mean,
I
we-
know where I was in the beginning of this. I was lost. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know, how to help my loved one. And through meetings and the recovery community, I saw how important the need was for families to get the help and the support. And when I started this, it was for the families, and it has grown into something so much bigger, because we have every aspect. We have people that have lost someone. We have people that are active. We have people that are in recovery. We have their family members. We have friends. We have people that are popping in like,
And
what
over the years, our connections is like, it's large. We have a lot of people we could go to for advice, for help, and this and that. And we're lucky we have the studio here, which is my son's studio. It's a full service music studio here, and we low overhead. He lets us come in here and do
Right.
the show, and also.
And
like I
that's
said, we're
why-
not in it for the money. We don't ask for any donations, anything, but we do ask to spread the word. I mean, we'd love to have as much viewers as possible.
Well, I just want to be able to help people. If I can help
Right.
one person tonight,
But
then
the
so
more we
be
spread
it.
out there, the more people we can help and expand our reach.
And with that being said, I do not take any monetary monies. I don't hold fundraisers. I don't do anything. But
We do like Omaha steaks.
But we do have the dance coming up. It is July 29th. They do.
And that's not our. We just volunteer with that.
I
organization.
volunteer. I am on the committee, but don't hold that. We're looking for baskets to raffle off, because the monies that are made on that dance, which ticket money's not a whole heck of a lot. So we do the baskets, we do the 50/50s and what have you. And sorry if there's anybody from Gamanon out there, but we use that money towards helping those that are in recovery. And
We try to help them get on their feet, maybe for a week or two in a recovery house.
no, we
or
don't
just
do. No, we're just doing.
different things.
We're
like-
just doing, the little things like recovery houses and treatment that's so expensive, and that would dwindle our monies down to nothing in like one swoop. So what we're doing is we are actually helping those with books that they're suggested to get once they leave recovery. If you need, an outfit to go to work, to get a job. It's just the little things. You need an HBA basket, shampoo, soap, and deodorant. These are the little things that they really don't have money for at the time that they go into a recovery house.
Right.
Or
And huge profits aren't being made off the dance with the price of food and everything.
No.
The profits are very
right. So
minimal.
and that
But the
and,
ticket prices are kept very low too. So
Yes.
it's a networking thing for people in recovery, and we
And-
do try to help other people.
and I will do that for any organization that I know are doing well for those that are loved ones that are out there suffering.
Fine. If you need music for an event or something, if I'm not booked for a wedding or something, and I'm available, and I do freebies for a lot of organizations throughout the year. I mean, just to help them, raise money or awareness or whatever they're
small.
going to.
And that's what it's about. Like we have to remember that insurance is out there for our loved ones to get them into treatment, and there are places that do major fundraising to get them into a stable environment until a bed becomes available, or to get them their first couple days of treatment. So
I like my stifle liner, Erica.
so that
Only this old guy.
so that's what we're about. So, and I just want to put that out there because some of these organizations are doing such great things for our loved ones, and even that small little thing that they may do may be just that aha moment that says somebody really does love me and care, and I'm going to take their suggestion, and I'm going to try this whole recovery thing out and see
Right,
how
I
it
mean,
goes.
Because fundraising is so hard right now. Everybody's kind of tapped out with fundraisers. I mean, there's so many fundraisers for everything.
Yes. So if it's a trusting organization, I will, pop that. That's the only time you're going to see me asking for a basket. And I don't ask for money. I just, your favorite items in a basket, a gift certificate to your favorite,
Appliance repair
fascious-
person. Oh, sorry, Eric. Sorry.
yeah, somebody that can fix my ice maker and my damn refrigerator. But like little things. So, maybe a service, a masseuse, a salon, nail plate, just these little things.
We've
So,
got so many people out there, that have their own type of service businesses and this and that. It doesn't have to be anything expensive or anything. It just doesn't.
exactly.
Anything like Lori says, a service or something. I mean,
Right. And just because it's that nearing the very end of the show, I am still available after to talk if you need, if you're struggling and you need help getting through the next however long you need me. Give me a call on the number 267-737-8031. I'm always here. I'm always available. I'm always listening.
I'll
Well,
be
I wasn't this morning because my phone crashed,
blew
but
it up.
I'm back up and running.
I'll be
so-
unavailable for a few minutes because there's a big thing of apple strudels in there or whatever. I got to get into that container. Apple turnovers.
Apple turnovers and chocolate covered strawberries. So, but we're here, we're listening, and just because the show ends doesn't mean that
Right, and, reach out anytime. Lori's always available to take your call.
yes,
I mean, and the phone rings a lot.
and I
There's
don't
a
care.
lot of
I don't
people
mind
need
it
the
at
help.
all.
They just need an ear. So many times people just need someone to talk to, just to test
Yep.
your own sanity sometimes.
You can
because-
cry, you can scream, you can holler, because I can hold the phone out like that. Not a problem. I can still hear you. But, that's what I'm here for. I know where I was when this started with us in our family, and being raised in surrounded by addiction. I know what you're going through. I know that there's resentment. I know that there's fear. And I just want you to know that there is somebody out there listening, and there is somebody out there that understands. I may not have the addictive brain, but I do understand because of the education. I'm not going to say I know what you're going through,
I'm
but
ecstatic. You got it
I
there.
know that you know, that's what you're going through. So, if anybody needs me, you know where I am.
That's good. And Jeremy, thank you so much for tuning in. It's always
Yes.
great to get a new viewer out there. I hope you
Yes.
like what you saw and heard.
Yes.
I mean, please join in anytime, man. You know, you ever
We're
want
always
to
here.
call. You want to spread some good Creole recipes, anything.
Yes.
Just call
Check
me.
out Living Hopeful on Facebook. Check out Living Hopeful Lower Bucks County. That is my private closed group. Answer a couple questions. I'll let you in. Living Hopeful is my open page. Anybody can see what you are posting. And everybody have a great week. I'm hoping to have a good week. I'm purging as much as I can in the house and organizing and hopefully getting my pool fixed. I put a hole in it. I'm so sad. But we're here and we're listening. Everybody have a great Friday, a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Have a great week. And we will see you here next Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10:30.
And thanks, Gag, for tuning in. As always, man, we love you guys. And remember, recovery works if you work it.
Peace out, everybody.
Good night,
See you
everyone.
next week.
Be safe.